Humanity has created countless religions, shaped by geography, culture, race, language, and personal belief. At their core, most religions center around a single question: what happens after we die? Some faiths believe that unknown beings await us after death, deciding whether we go to a paradise or a place of punishment. Others claim we are stuck in a cycle of life and rebirth, each life a new chapter in a never-ending book. Over the centuries, religions have evolved, old gods faded, and new ones rose. Some followers act with kindness and compassion in the name of their god, while others justify violence and cruelty with the same beliefs. But today, I want to talk about what I believe to be the most brutal religion of all, one you might never expect. I'm talking about Buddhism. Yes, that might surprise you. Buddhism is often painted as a peaceful path, a philosophy rooted in serenity and inner balance. It's often associated with karma, meditation, and enlightenment, an image largely romanticized by East Asian traditions and Western interpretations. But when you peel back the serene surface, a very different story emerges. Buddhism was born in ancient Nepal, which was part of India at the time. Prince Siddhartha, sheltered and wealthy, abandoned his royal life in search of truth. After 6 years of extreme self-discipline and reflection, he became the Buddha. From that moment on, he became not only a spiritual icon but a political force. His teachings eventually reached the top by surpassing older religious traditions across India. He died at the age of 80, leaving behind a powerful legacy. Despite the common view of Buddhism as peaceful, it is at its core an ideological battlefield. It thrives on intellectual confrontation. It's a system that values victory through reason, debate, and self-mastery. Buddhism doesn't ask you to follow blindly. It demands understanding, questioning, and inner conquest. And in that way, it can be brutal, not in violence, but in its relentless demand for truth. The struggle isn't against others, it's against yourself. Buddhism is not about being kind to everybody or whispering chants into thin air. It's not about meditating or bowing to a statue of Buddha either. Those are mere tools to reach the real goal of Buddhism, which is reaching Nirvana. The path to Nirvana begins with letting go of everything that binds you to the human condition. That means cutting ties with comfort, desire, attachment, even love and lust. You don't get to crave. You don't get to cling. There's no romance in it. No easy way out. Buddhism, at its core, is a brutal stripping away of illusion. It demands discipline, clarity, and unshakable will. The road to salvation lies within sheer will and perseverance. Buddhism is rooted in the concept of karma and reincarnation, a higher cosmic-level natural phenomenon. The idea of rebirth is terrifying enough on its own, a cycle so relentless that even gods are not spared, doomed to be born again and again. In a Buddhist society, you don't get to rely on others. There are no divine saviors, no hidden entities waiting to guide you. You have only yourself. Your actions, and yours alone, shape your spiritual path. Karma is the only currency. Whether it is good or bad, it determines the kind of life you will inherit next. In other words, only you can change your future and your next life. You can't just confess and go to heaven anyway. What is done is done. There is no turning back from karma. It's a brutal way to handle a fault, but fair is fair. More good karma means more luxury in the next life. The ultimate goal of Buddhism is to break the cycle of rebirth and bring existence itself to an end. The Buddha didn't encourage his followers to simply gather good karma for a better life in the next birth. Instead, he urged them to strive for nirvana in this very life. He revealed the truth of life's suffering. From the moment of birth, we endure pain and sadness just to grasp fleeting moments of comfort, which themselves bring pain when lost. We chase greatness, making ultimate sacrifices, only to realize its futility in the end. All the wealth in the world is worthless in the face of sickness or death, and even our memories abandon us at the final breath. To be truly free from pain, one must step beyond existence itself to never be born again. And that is the real brutality of Buddhism. You don't get to exist. So why does Western culture treat Buddhism like garden decor? A Buddha statue next to a bonsai tree, incense burning under fairy lights, like it's a frosted cake with a cherry on top, calm, pretty, harmless. Want to hear something funny? After the Buddha died, an old monk stood up and said, "Finally, we are free. The great ascetic is dead. Do not grieve. Now we can do as we like." Peaceful, huh? This marked the first major division in the Buddhist community. From that point on, the Sangha split into two main schools. The Sthavira, elders, who strictly adhered to the original teachings, and the Mahāyāna, who took a more liberal and adaptive approach. Over time, these schools evolved, and the Mahāyāna gave rise to Mahāyāna Buddhism, now practiced in East Asian countries like Japan, China, and Korea. These traditions gradually moved away from the original monastic discipline. In some forms of Mahāyāna, monks are even allowed to marry or consume alcohol, adjusting religious life to suit cultural and social changes. In contrast, Theravāda Buddhism has continued to follow the strict path laid out by the Buddha. Today, the only country where Theravāda is preserved in its purest form is Sri Lanka. So the next time you see a smiling Buddha statue in a spa or a Zen garden, remember that the real path wasn't about peace and pleasure or statues. It was about letting go of everything, even yourself. Only a few still follow its raw, unforgiving path. And in the quiet corners of Sri Lanka, that ancient fire still burns.